Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Well, what do we have here? Some lying witnesses. Yeah, fam. And a would-be witness who decided to not get on the stand because he didn't want to get caught in a lie. Who am I talking about? This guy right here. Not the liar on the left, but the one right in the middle. That is Hunter Metcalf. Hunter is the twin brother of Austin Metcalf, who was stabbed to death at Kuykendall Stadium on April 2nd, 2025 by Karmelo Anthony, who was then 17 himself. Since Karmelo has been found guilty by a jury, not his peers, and sentenced to 35 years in prison. He is currently appealing. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So, here's a picture of Hunter and his twin brother, Austin, who was killed. Don't ask me to pick out which one is which. That's their mother in the middle. A grieving mother. My condolences absolutely go out to her. But family, I still got to call a strike and a ball a ball. Just because one person died does not mean that I have to or we have to shut down on the person who survived the encounter. You see, it's possible to shut down on the person who survived the encounter if that person was a horrible person, if that person was a bad actor, had a reputation for being a bad actor, but quite the opposite. Hunter is the one who had the reputation for being a bad actor. His brother Austin is the one who had the reputation for being a bad actor. This is not me. I didn't have to go and do any incredible discovery to find this out. They have a reputation in Frisco, Texas. And I spoke to several people that live in Frisco, Texas, and they said those dudes were terrorists. Yeah. So it wasn't just Austin. In fact, it wasn't just Karmelo. He said these dudes was bullying some girls, some cheerleaders who went to the school. Hunter, either Hunter or Austin, allegedly told some cheerleaders at their school that their fists were bisexual. They hit girls and boys. Either their hands or their fists were bisexual. They hit girls and boys. Now, let's move on down to the fight. The fight in the stands. Several witnesses have said that they have seen the video of the fight. They put in a request to view the video at the school. The school has the tape. The school has the surveillance footage. It owns the surveillance footage. And they have allowed people to come in and watch the surveillance footage if they put in a request, and that request is accepted. So several people have said they watched the video, and make no mistake about it, Karmelo Anthony was jumped by several boys. But guess who in the smack dead in the middle? Guess who threw the very first punch, allegedly? This guy right here, Austin Metcalf, the brother of the deceased. They say he was so distraught that he could not speak. He could not give an interview after it happened. His mom and dad gave interviews, but he could not give an interview after it happened. And in fact, there's a video of his dad being interviewed, and I believe it was the news reporter who wanted to speak to Austin, wanted to, while they were speaking to the dad, and they wanted the dad to call Austin over, and the dad had a look of disgust. This is the day of the killing. The dad had a look of disgust on his face. I believe it's the day or the day after. The dad had a look of disgust on his face. Like, I can't even look at you. Why would he do that? I mean, he just lost his brother. He just lost his twin brother. Why would the dad handle him like that? Because, according to reports, Austin was the catalyst for the fight. Because Austin threw the first punch, not push, punch. The people who say they watched the video, they say that you can see Austin clearly delivering a haymaker to Karmelo. Also, they said Karmelo fell to the ground and he reached back and grabbed a utility knife. They said this really is not a knife. It was like the multi-purpose device that they have. It has a knife. It'll have a knife, screwdriver, corkscrew, flashlight. It had all of that stuff on it. It was one of those. But they made it seem like he just brought a knife to school. Oh man, they ran with it. Where was the defense? The defense didn't do anything, man. They say the defense probably objected like one time. One time in a murder case? You reject one time in a murder case? Get out of here, man. Come on, family. Come on. Come on. You can't do it like that. You can do it like that, but it ain't going to hold once the rest of the world get a hold to it. See, the prosecutor, Roach, that old cockroach, John Cockroach, he thought this was going to be a slam dunk. We're going to make this thing happen, get out of here, man. We don't want these outsiders around us. We need to go ahead on and railroad this boy, get him out of here. He had the help of DA Greg Willis, whose office was under investigation for discrimination. Discrimination. Yeah, discrimination, sexual abuse. Yeah, sexual misconduct, harassment. Yeah, they just settled in October. But you never heard about that, did you? You never heard about it. The news knew. The news people. See, the deck is stacked, fam. Mainstream media knew. They absolutely knew. But none of them mentioned it. If you listen to mainstream media talk, you can tell the way that they contextualize their messages, their commentary, that they're biased. When you are reporting the news, you're supposed to report the news objectively. You're not supposed to take sides. They clearly were taking sides. And not just the outlets, the visual outlets, also the audio outlets, the press, the print outlets. Yeah, man, they've been going in, man. They just, they paint that boy. That just goes to show you, man. One time you get in the jam. If you black one time, you got one time. I bet you before Karmelo got in that jam, I bet you there was white people in his neighborhood, in his community, at his school, was talking about how great he was. He wanted the good ones. They like to say one of the good ones. But the moment you mess up one time, they will turn on you. They will turn on you. They are going to pick the side. Yeah, they're going to pick their side. Absolutely, they're going to pick it. I don't have to play the race card. They play it better than anybody. I'm just calling a strike and a ball. And I know for some of y'all that's difficult to hear. A black man standing on business. A black man saying what he mean and meaning what he says and not apologizing for nobody. Not apologizing. Now, I'm not above apologizing now. Don't get me wrong. If I genuinely believe that I'm wrong, I will apologize, and I'll do it quickly. As soon as I identify it, I'll do it. I'll apologize. I ain't got no problem with it. I think having the capacity to apologize is, I think that's an attribute. I don't see it as no form of weakness whatsoever. Some people do, but I don't. Moving on. Austin allegedly started all of this. He is the one who pressed Karmelo. He is the one. And this story about how Austin died in his arms and bled out in his arms, they're saying that was a total lie. They said after Austin got stuck, Karmelo scurried up off the ground and started running again. He was trying to get away from, he was not standing his ground. He was trying to get the hell up out of there because they was trying to attack him. He was running. He ran, he fell. He got up and he ran again. When he stuck Austin, they said Austin didn't realize that he got stuck initially. He didn't know that he had gotten stuck. He was going to give chase to Karmelo with the other boys. The other boys started chasing Karmelo, and Austin was going to start chasing them too. But then he realized something was wrong, and he caught himself and he fell. And they say Hunter did not go run to him. Hunter just started freaking out. What you see on Hunter's face is guilt. The reason why Hunter did not take the stand is because Hunter did not want to get caught up in any lies. But the way this trial worked out, hell, he could have went on the stand and it wouldn't have made no difference because the deck was stacked and the defense sold Karmelo out. The defense attorney and his buddy sold Karmelo out. So they wouldn't have even asked him the pertinent questions. But I guess they didn't want to take any chances. The prosecutor didn't want to take any chances. But at the same time, the prosecutor probably realized we don't even need Austin testimony. We don't even need him to get up on that stand and lie. We don't even need him to get up on the stand and cry. This is a slam dunk. We got this. We got this because we got the judge in our pocket. We got the jury. They're talking about the jury was diverse. It wasn't diverse enough. It ain't diverse enough when you got a black boy on trial in a racially charged case. We ain't in the damn 1960s anymore. This ain't the 1950s. This ain't the 20s. It's 2026. I'd be damned if you're going to put me on trial against a bunch of white folks having judged me. I've been there before. But if you ain't finna judge for my life, oh, hell no. My life? I'm finna let these white folks judge me and my freedom on the line? No. I've seen enough cases to know that I would be taking a huge risk to think that a jury of all white people is going to be fair and impartial towards me. I already been through that before and got convicted and had the witness, had the person who claimed that I did them wrong, had that person get on the stand and say they were not sure it was me who did them dirty. They even said they wasn't sure. Them dirty, low-down bastards still found me guilty. So I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. Just because of the history of this country, it should be illegal for a person of any color to be on trial fighting a murder case and not have at least one or two or three people that look like them from their ethnicity judging them. It's kind of like in boxing, right? I'll use the boxing analogy where if you're from the United States and you're fighting overseas, you're going to have at least one U.S. judge. There's going to be one U.S. judge, and there'll be at least one judge from the country that you're fighting in. That's the way they do it. And I think it might be a judge from a neutral country. One judge from the country that this guy's from that the foreigner is from, one for the countryman, and one that is neutral. That is because they want to mitigate favoritism. That's how it goes. It's human nature. We all come with our own set of implicit biases. We're human beings. It would be very disingenuous for us to make a statement that, yo, we can do this. We can be, I do believe that a jury, an all-white jury, can judge fairly somebody who's not white. No, they can't. No, they can't. You might find one, it's a needle in the haystack. So the smart thing to do, the wise thing to do, would just be to check your, do the checks and balances. Dot your I's, cross your T's, and make sure everybody get a fair shot. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Karmelo coming home. Free Karmelo. No more talk.